Hey, what's up? This is Sifu Kuttel, and in this video, we're going to be working with the staff, doing a really fancy advanced technique where you take the staff, place it behind the back, launch it out, and catch it in your front hand. Now, this is also really common as a spear technique, and more often than not, you'll see that with spear than with staff, but you can do this with the staff as well. The main thing I would suggest is tape one end of the staff so that you always know where the tip of the staff is, especially if you're using a double end staff like I am. That's the same thickness on each end. Okay, now it is an awkward position when you do this, and it's going to feel strange at first, but the more you practice, the better you're going to get, and you have a really nice technique. Okay, so let's go get to work. Okay, so let's start with grip, because grip is going to be the most defining factor here. If you can't get the grip correct, the rest of the technique is not going to happen. So first thing first is we're going to have a natural grip single end style. Like I said, this is usually done with spear. You can do it with single end staff, and of course you can do it just a regular staff too. But you always want to make sure that when we're doing single end style, both thumbs are pointing towards the tip of the staff. Now from here, what I'm going to do is take my bottom hand and I'm going to wrap all the way underneath. Now this is really strange, okay? This is going to be the weirdest part of it. The best way to think of doing this is go from the inside, so you keep your palm attached, and then try to point your palm out. So you twist your hand over, and then your two fingers, your index finger and your middle finger, are going to be holding on to the staff at the base here. Okay, now this should feel awkward and twisted. This is the correct way of doing it, okay? So again, make sure you can pivot that palm, go up and over, and then grab. You don't want to try to change your hand around this way. It should not feel like a natural change. You should feel very twisted as you do this, okay? This is key. Make sure that you can do this with both hands, because even though this is typically done on one side only, if you have southern spear or northern spear technique, where you have one hand predominantly in the front, you will have to do this at some times with both hands. So it's good to be able to practice and do this with both hands. All right, so again, keep that hand touching, the palm touching the bottom so you don't lose the staff as you're trying to do this, and then grab. Now, once you have this grip, we're going to have to place it behind the back. The key thing here is, even though our hand is in an awkward position at the base of the staff, you want to still hold on, and then you're able to let the front hand slide. You're going to need a little bit more room for this than in this position. Okay, so let your front hand grip with the index finger and the thumb so it can slide, and you're going to raise it up and then behind the back. Notice now my front hand is palm up, and my back hand should feel much more natural and untwisted, palm down with those fingers pointing. I have pressure with my elbow and arm and front arm to keep control here, and then I have a nice position with my back hand to keep control as well. So this becomes very natural, and I want to go as low as possible. Sometimes people will go behind the head, which is acceptable, but this is a more traditional approach that we have the hand down by the sash or the waist level, and then we have a front hand pointing, so this goes upward, okay? So again, make sure we have that proper grip. You can start by just straightening the staff, and then palm rotates, touch, let this hand slide as you go over the shoulder, and then look towards where you're going to throw. Okay, so now that we have grip, now that we have getting the staff behind the back, it's time to throw it. Okay, so again, you can start in the forward position, turn your hand over, raise and bring it over, and then typically you do this from a cat stance, a lifted up leg, or even a bow stance, or as you throw it, you can go to a bow stance. Now, when you throw, you have to work with the weight of the staff or spear. So I suggest at first, you work on just a light throw. It may not clear your entire body, but at least you're starting to get more comfortable with it. Okay, so that way you don't end up throwing it out of your hand and then you have to go pick it up and do it again. You can start adding power later, but you have to really find that happy place, that happy medium, because this is very easy to overdo it and lose the staff. So again, we're going to start from our cat stance position. Turn the hand over, raise up and over, and then throw it out. Okay, so there you have it. Now, this is a cool looking technique if done correctly. If you do not extend all the way out, and if you have an awkward position, awkward face when you do it, you're going to have just an awkward technique. So this is something that you really have to focus on and not just make doable, but make it a great technique before you implement this in your forms, if you want to make your forms a little more snazzy, or in your own training, if it's a part of a form that you already know. All right, so if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. Make sure to hit that like button, and as always, be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.